Hi, welcome back to another episode of Soulful Sundays with Madge. If you are new to this channel, my name is Madge and I want to thank you all for supporting the channel. Well, on this journey with me, we will discuss challenges that come up at different times in our life and how our perspective can be a great tool in helping us to overcome many life obstacles. And as always, if you like what you receive, feel free to leave a comment below. You can hit the like button, ring the bell to subscribe to the channel. This way, each week when I upload, you will receive notification. And just know that you can always email me with any questions you may have at askmatch18@gmail.com. And before I begin, I do want to say that my son is gaming. So if you hear some screaming or yelling, that is what is currently going on in my household. But to get into this week's topic, we are going to talk about everything we do is an investment. And I think it was early one morning. I'm pretty sure it was early in the morning. I was reading over like a daily devotional. And I'm going to look down and read it. It said, in a sense, everything we do is an investment. We are always pouring our time, talent, treasures into something. And whatever we are pouring into, that's where your heart is. And it made me think about something that we say, or at least I say quite often. And I don't know how often that I ever just think about the importance of when one says, are you paying attention? Or I'm paying attention. And like, why, like, it's called paying attention. Like, it's an investment. You're paying into your thoughts. You're paying into what you're giving your attention to. And how often we analyze like where our thoughts are. I think the saying goes like, where our thoughts go, energy flows, or energy flows where our thoughts go, or something like that. And it is so true. Where and what we think about ourselves, our lives, I believe that we are always creating first in thought, then in form. And if we are not careful of what we are paying our attention to, we will create more of perhaps what we don't want. And why it's so important to invest our thoughts and our time and our energy into what we do want. I was actually thinking about the other day. I was feeling quite overwhelmed and a little nervous just about growth. And everyone wants growth. I want growth. I'm looking even for even more growth in my life. And I knew when I transitioned into like my new home, I already knew, like, the Holy Spirit told me, like, Madge, who you were at your last address is not going to be who you're going to be at this current address. Like, you're going to have to step up and do life a lot differently to be the woman that's going to be in this household that I'm blessing you to have. However, I guess when life hits you, sometimes we have to really choose to look back and see how far God has brought us and what our thoughts have produced in our life. Because I was sitting and I was just thinking like, oh gosh, like, okay, how am I going to do this? How am I going to manage that? Which I can tell you, my thoughts were going to the future. And a lot of times when our thoughts are going too far out, we can start to have fear and panic and worry about events and things that may not even come into fruition. But as I was like praying and meditating to God and aware that my thoughts were leading me somewhere I didn't want to go, God like showed me. God was like, Madge, this is where your thoughts have brought you today, currently. But go back to where you were 5-6 years ago. You had moved back to Ohio from North Carolina, and you had moved, going through a divorce, and you moved you and your 2 children into a 2-bedroom like box apartment. Very small, probably, I don't know, 600-700 square feet. And from there, your thought was, more. And I put in work. And within a year, I had created more abundance in my life that I was able to move my family from a 2-bedroom apartment to a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom townhouse, just more space, more of what me and my family needed. I was able to get my children a more quality education. God had really took care of me and my family and provided for us because I believed and I thought that my children could have more and I could have more. Not only that, I transitioned from one car that was giving me so much trouble to a newer car. And then from a newer car to a more luxury car, because my thoughts were telling me I could have these things. Maybe not immediately, but that I was deserving and I was willing to put in work, y'all. Not just sitting thinking like, oh, I'm going to manifest it, but really being like, I can manifest it, but what are the actions? What are the work? What is it going to require for me to do? And what areas of my life am I going to have to improve in order to make this stuff happen and show up into my life? And then I wanted more. I wanted a bigger house. I wanted newer furniture. I wanted to grow the way I decorated my home. I wanted to be more proud of myself in my home when I invited people in. And so my thoughts started to pour into that over the course of maybe like 2 years. And God showed me how I did that. So what I'm really saying to you is look around at where you are now and what you have in your life and know that you invested through your thoughts into everything that has shown up in your life up until now. And there are things in my life that I'm like, okay, God, how did my thoughts get that into my life? I don't know. But a lot of times too, sometimes it's here to teach us lessons, what we need to grow as we move on. But what I really want to get at is that what God was really speaking to me was that my thoughts, what I had decided to pay attention to, has brought me to this very moment up until now. And my thoughts that I want for the future are even bigger. But God is like, if you're going to crumble and fold and not sure if you can even be a steward over the growth that I have given you in this moment, Madge, how are you going to handle more? So currently I'm like, yes, God, okay, help me, grow me, show me how I can be a good steward over what you have blessed me and my family with, because I believe that if you blessed us with this, it's because you knew I could handle it. You already told me that I was going to have to elevate my thoughts and my actions and become a different version of myself, but it's a better version, a more improved quality person, but it's going to require me to have some different thoughts and to really pay attention to my thoughts and to really make sure that I'm investing in myself and my energy and like in the right ways that are going to produce positivity and produce more abundance and prosperity in my life. So, what are your thoughts? And what kind of investment have your thoughts manifested into your life up until now? And I just really want to encourage you that if you feel that there are areas in your life that you're like, you know what, I have no clue how my thoughts have created this, but I know that I'm worthy of so much more. I know that I'm capable of kicking it into a higher gear and doing more and improving this area of my life, then I say start investing in yourself and investing into a different thought, because you're going to be able to know what thoughts got you there. If you spend a little bit of time, you can almost think about what thoughts got you there, but just know it's going to take a different kind of thought to get you somewhere else, which is usually not easy because it requires us to actually become more aware and to not resort back to that default version of ourselves that got us to where we were currently at. We got to think a little bit different. And, I just want to say that I too have thoughts sometimes where I'm like, Madge, what are you thinking? How are you going to do that? Is it even possible for you? Are you going to fail at this? But I just want to encourage you to have some go-to verses or some go-to quotes that you can just say in your mind to encourage you, to keep you on. And, even the other day, I was just literally repeating Henry David Thoreau, and I'm not going to quote it verbatimly, accurately, but I was just saying, like, if one endeavors and goes confidently in the direction, of their dreams and looks to live a life that they have imagined, like, in common hours, success will find you. And that is not verbatimly how he says it. But it's so true. Like, I just have to believe that everything God brought to my attention that I thought about, and I decided to go confidently in that direction and endeavor to live that life. I have it in form, but it's going to be up to me to continue to produce the right kind of thoughts that are going to help me to be a good steward over what I currently have, and to also grow more of what I am looking to also add into my life and increase into my life. So I hope this message has been able to give you something to think about and to pay attention to in your life, so that you can have quality thoughts that are gonna produce just abundance in your life and to bless you and bless your family. So I thank you so much once again for supporting me and the channel and tuning in this week. And until next week, I want you to stay safe and stay blessed. Bye.